what are you going to speak about? And I said, I don't know. They said, well, who's going to want to hear you speak? I don't know. Nick, you have no invitations, you have no website, you have no business cards, you have no speaking experience, you have no coach, you have no books. Really? You want to be a speaker? I said, yes. So, what did I do? I didn't have any money to invest in a speaking career. Just in case it didn't work, I had no money to risk. So I didn't get a speaking coach. I didn't also look at other speakers because I didn't want to take their content. I, as well, didn't like reading books. Maybe you like reading books. I don't like reading a lot. So I didn't even read about being a speaker. I didn't read about being a marketing professional in my arena. So guess what I did? The old-fashioned way. Trial and learn. So what I did, I got a list of the local schools around me. And I started calling schools. Hello? Hello, my name is Nick Vujicic, and I am a speaker. And I was wondering if I could come and speak at your school. See, I was nervous and I had no idea what to say. And then she said nothing. And then she said, no thank you. Hung up the phone. And I'm like, oh, it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good when you are told no. So what did I do? Give up or try again? I didn't call the same school. I called another school. And they said no. So I called another school and I heard no, 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 no. 52 times they said no. It's hard when you have failure. But guess what? Every time I got a no, my next marketing pitch got better and better and better and better and better. My 53rd phone call went like this. Hello, my name is Nick Vujicic and I'm a professional motivational speaker and I'd like to come and speak to your school about bullying, self-esteem, dreaming big and never giving up. And she said, okay. And I'm like, what do I do now? I had no idea. So I'm thinking, okay, give me your address. So she gives me the address, and I get my pen on my foot, and I'm writing down the address. She says, can you come next Tuesday? I said, yeah, great. I had nothing on my schedule. She had no idea she was the first one. So I'm like, okay, great, great. I said, how much money can you give me? She said, $50. And I said, okay, thank you, bye-bye. And I hung up the phone, and I was like, yeah, success, my first one. Then I looked at the map, and I saw the address of the school. It was a 2.5-hour drive. I thought to myself, maybe if I start walking now, I'll get there on time. Next Tuesday. So I go to my brother, he's sitting there watching TV like this. And I go up to him and said, hey Aaron. He said, hey. I said, Aaron, I got some great news. He said, what's that? I said, a school wants me to speak. He's like, oh, cool. You want me to take you, don't you? And I'm like, please, 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 can you please take me? I don't want mom and dad to take me because they don't believe in my dream. I really need you to take me. He said, when is it? I I said, next Tuesday. He said, nah, I'm busy. And I'm thinking, busy? And I said, what are you doing? He said, nothing. I said, but you're busy. He said, yeah, I'm busy. I said, I'll pay you $50. He said, okay. So now I'm using the $50 to give to my brother. I needed to get to this school. So we go into the school, 2.5 hours there, 2.5 hours back. 5-hour trip. Guess what happened? We're driving to the school. He says, who lives out here? Do you know how long you're even speaking for? You're going to be driving 5 hours and you don't even know how many people you're going to speak to? I said, no, but I'll ask another time. So we get to the school and I'm really nervous. I'm like, please tell me it's a big crowd. Please tell me it's a big crowd. Please tell me it's a big crowd. I go there. The school is tiny. I mean, tiny. And I go up to the principal and I say, just wondering, how long would you like me to speak for? And I'm thinking maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes. She said, about 5 minutes. And I nearly died. Then I'm thinking, well, maybe it's a big crowd, you know, maybe it's short time, but a big crowd, still a good experience. And I said, how many people are going to be there? She said, we're really excited, about 10 people. And my brother started laughing. And he was like, this is a waste of time, but I don't care, I'm getting paid. And I'm like, this is a failure, I can't believe it. I was so angry at myself. Nick, why didn't you ask them? Nick, why didn't you ask him? It was just a simple question. I was so angry at myself. I spoke, it went well. The principal came up, I hugged them goodbye. They gave me the $50. On the way home, my brother's laughing, and I say, don't tell Mom and Dad. I go home, Mom and Dad say, so how was it? And I say, good, and walk into my room. I was depressed. I failed. Nick, you're a failure. The next morning, you know how it is? You wake up in the morning and you don't want to get out of bed. You know that feeling? I didn't want to get out of my bed, but my phone kept on ringing. Finally picked it up. Hello? Hi, is this Nick Vujicic, the motivational speaker? Yes, this is him. We heard you're really good, and we want you to come to our school. What would it take for you to please come to our school? And I said, let me check my schedule. That is how it began. It started with zero invitations, zero experience, zero marketing, zero connections. Do you know how much marketing I've done till today? Zero. Why? Because I believe that if I was to be a successful speaker, that the people that I speak to couldn't stop talking about me to their friends and family, that invitations would just come. And that's exactly what has happened. Today, I want to tell you, you can achieve it. The next step, I think we're at point 5, change your obstacles into opportunities. Have you ever looked at someone and admired them for their success? Don't you dare think that they never had obstacles in their way. Remember, here I am, there's my goal to be a speaker. I had no marketing. Obstacles. Obstacles equals opportunity. If I don't know anything about marketing, I'm not going to see it as a negative thing. I'm going to see it as a positive thing, that I can actually take this opportunity to learn about marketing. Well, Nick, you have no website, you have no business cards, Nick, you don't know how to speak. Today people say, Nick, you're 29 years old and you've spoken to crowds as large as 110,000 people. You've been on TV in one stage, one platform, 270 million people. Nick, many people in their lifetime don't get that opportunity, but you did. How come you're such an eloquent speaker? And I said, I've spoken 1,500 times. As you do something, practice makes perfect. Point number 6. Dream big. Dream big. Number 7. Never, ever, ever give up. These are the 7 keys. I'm going to throw in an 8th one. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. I had so many mentors who believed in me to be a speaker. But if I didn't believe in me, nothing would happen. I want you to leave a line on your piece of paper, and then I want you to write just 3 bullet points. And above those 3 bullet points, the title's going to be Strengths. Strengths. I want you to write down the 3 strengths of who you are. Or maybe your skills, your talents. 3 things about your personality that you like. Write them down. Maybe you're too humble. Maybe you need to think of the things that people say about you. You're a good listener. You're good at this, you're good at that. You know, you should try this. Maybe it's photography, maybe it's encouragement. I don't know what it is. 3 things maybe that other people have told you that you have. Write it down. Leave a line, bring another title, weaknesses. Put down 3 weaknesses. I'm going to get you through 3 lists. This is the second of 3. The second list I want you to write down are 3 weaknesses, 3 obstacles, 3 liabilities, 3 deficiencies, struggles, whatever you want to call them. Write down those 3. I know maybe you have more. We all have more than 3. But think of the top 3. And then look at me when you're done with that so I can see who's ready. Last list. Put down thankfulness. You can title it Thankfulness. I want you to write down in this last list 3 things that are dear to your heart. That if any of these 3 things are not part of your life today, you wouldn't know what to do. 3 dearest things in your heart. Who are they? What are they?